And that was the first conversation I had with the band. I was like, dudes, I get what you're trying to do. I get like the rock verses and the big choruses and the groovy breakdowns and I just thought, let's do this right. Let's try our best. Let's do this right. Let's do this, like, I hate to say it, let's do it really big, and let's do it really produced, and let's make it all make sense. Let's make it sound as big as you guys look and as cool as you guys are. Let's tie this whole thing together and make it very clear. I just thought I could bring this all together and, you know, big songs, big sound. You know, I kept saying to the band, make it so Vegas. Make it just, fuck it. Just, let's piss these dudes off, right, and let's grab all these fucking dudes.
Our producer, on the first day we met, was like, yeah, I was thinking of recording drums separately from cymbals. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? You know, like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, actually just do the drum shells, which you see right here. With doing that, I've had to separate my brain pretty much, which I thought it was going to be harder, but it's still pretty hard. Like, on difficult things that I have like cymbals in, you just can't even air drum it because you want to just focus just on the kick or just on the snare and, you know, get the exact hit right.
It sparked for me. It's like, I really, honestly, genuinely got extremely excited about the idea of doing this, or what it could become, and this whole idea of doing this thing really big and just going for it, just fuck it, going for it. On my first phone conversation, I was really, really into it and sort of not pushy, but just sort of like, look, this is I was like selling it almost. Like, it was weird. I was really selling my feelings and thoughts about not only what the record could sound like, but you know, where things could go. I'm very positive. I'm very optimistic about what I think this band can do.
We really started writing songs for the new record like January 2005. There may be some stuff like laying around, but right around January, when we were going on tour, we got laptops, and it was like the first time that me and Ken had picked up Pro Tools and tried to start like playing around with Pro Tools a little bit.
Keith and I would just bring our songs to everybody else and then just mold them from there, you know. We kind of didn't have like a real drummer at the time, and so Keith would just program our own drums on Reason and then record that shit into Pro Tools. From there, everybody just kind of molds their own thing, you know, like Mick would do his bass lines and then throw in deedle-doos here and there, and then James would write his lyrics and vocals, and we'd come up with some melody ideas just to help him out, or, you know, whatever we thought sounded cool at the time when we were writing it.
I can sit there on the bus on tour with a laptop, my guitar, and a little M-box and just hack out an entire song, exactly what's going through my head. I can do like tons of guitar tracks, all this kind of shit, and then I bring it to the guys, like, guys, check it out, I got this idea for a song.
If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have had like the 32 songs that we had musically for this record. Nothing has been like too great of a challenge on this record, but at the same time it's like there's no such thing as an easy record, and if there is, you haven't put your whole heart into it. Musically, this record was attacked with a different writing approach because we have two guitarists now, whereas before we only had one guitar.
From day one was, let's let's just not do the next good sounding rock record. Put style into the record as well. We mentioned some of the records that, good sounding rock records, but that stand out for just being special and having their own sound, like recent examples like The Killers, you know, or Marilyn Manson, or Filter. And old examples of, let's say, when Def Leppard came out. A record comes out at the right time with the right sound, you know, styled up with a big sound and bigger than life stuff. That's a big part of what we're doing here with all these crazy overdubs and synth layers and connects and gets it right.
This is the first time I've recorded bass and actually felt like there was more to it than just coming in and recording bass and that's it. We're using a synth layer on this record, which bands like Manson do, 9 Inch Nails. So we're putting a lot more time into bass than we've ever done in the past. And it's just going to give it this really fucking ballsy, heavy sound. I definitely think this record follows where Obsession left off, but at the same time, there's more things that we wanted to do, or we've always wanted to do, that we've been kind of scared to do, and Machine kind of got that out of us too. It's getting to the point where people want something, they just want rock and roll back. They just want aggressive rock and roll, not like any of this hipster, cheesy fucking bands that sound like the Rolling Stones. Like, I'd rather just listen to the Rolling Stones, you know? People just want something real and something to rock their asses off.
Vocals is a very, very big part of, you know, that thing that you just mentioned, that sort of very intense vocals. Vocals, I do vocals, same guy, same room, both right on headphones. We're feet from each other. There's no glass in between us. There's no talk back. It's very intimate. I'm right there, and I'm in the guy's face, and I'm shouting at him, singing at him. He's singing back at me, and that's kind of another thing that, you know, that I'm known for as well.
Vocally, I'm just in a completely different place than I was, you know, 2.5 years ago anyways. A lot more like polished and accomplished and knowing my voice better and just being able to like execute and push myself a little further and do, you know, be able to hit different notes that I wasn't able to hit on the last record.
My days are numbered down on my life. I know I can't quite make it. You got your crown, so quit your fucking around. I've broken you, you've broken me. Now I'm alone. You've broken me. Now I'm alone.
Tracking the vocals, it's a lot more one-on-one. You know, me and Machine are in a room by ourselves, just us two. Nobody else is allowed in there while we're tracking. The vibe's just really close and personal and just you know, really focused. My biggest challenge with this record, in my input and my involvement with what I'm doing, is probably the lyrics. It's like just getting these songs to just really come across, because like I was saying, I'm not the kind of guy that really focuses on the lyrics first, you know. I'd rather get like a crucial melody. I mean, not everybody can write a great melody, you know. And you know, Keith and Ken have always written lyrics in the past too, so it's like I do have help there if I need it. So I mean, the most challenging part to me is really like, you know, trying to turn some of these songs that were so lyrically into like really great songs that are just really gonna grab the listeners and like bring them into a story.
Yeah, now this world has got me down. It's on my shoulders. Black and bruised, I go insane.
There's gonna be some times where I think kids are just gonna be like, wow, I didn't know that they would write a song like that. But I think that, you know, we might throw them for a loop here and there where they say, fuck, man, like, that's awesome. I didn't think they would do something like that.
The whole thing has to make sense. The whole thing has to be, whoa, this looks different. If we get that, and that goes from my aspect and everything beyond me, and the songs that we have, I feel really positive about this, like, connecting in a big way.